Vivek also spoke about. So the way we connect to anything digital. So I think 15 years ago, Steve Jobs keypad. He said that the keypad is useless, and he said, "I want touchscreen." And now I think 15 years later, we are thinking of why do we even need touchscreen? We just need your own voice. When we look at Iron Man, we think of wow, Jarvis can do everything. That is only possible through voice because you whatever you are feeling, you speak it. You don't type it. I mean, it's not that relatable when you type it. You just speak it. Your problems, your grievances, the kind of support you want, everything is something that you speak. So that is where the whole idea of voice AI comes into the picture, where basically the entire vision is to make AI accessible. So when we talk about India, I think Vivek already mentioned that we are 1.4 billion people. So within this 1.4 billion people, we have 22 officially recognized languages, 18,000 dialects. So 18,000 dialects is the main number. And me personally, I'm not from here. So when I came to Uttar Pradesh, I realized whatever Vivek was saying, Muzaffarnagar Hindi is different, Gorakhpur Hindi is different. Well, while I'm from Karnataka, so I've heard Uttar Kannada, Dakshin Kannada, everything is different. So, and these people don't really understand each other. So, why do we impose that our agent, the voice AI agent, is to be understood by the people in that local dialect? We shouldn't be imposing any of that. So that is where we've built a platform that is a 24/7 support thing for distress. Because when we talk about customer support, the mantra of customer support success is resolution and timely resolution. So I've heard of resolution being fine, and so it's basically a chicken and egg problem, where if you want to solve this issue where you want to provide customer the best support, let's talk about Swiggy, for example. Now, when Swiggy wants to provide their customer some support, if you click on the refund button at night, there are no AI agents available, so they actually just refund it on spot. They don't check your problem. So the basically Swiggy is facing a loss here. If there was AI integrated in this, where you could actually call Swiggy and explain that actually my food was rotten, and our AI was able to understand, counter to it, not just understand it and do the thing, basically counter to it, have an entire conversation with the bot. See, that is where you're understanding the customer. That is where you're serving the customer well. Now, this is basically a corporate thing that I spoke about. Now, let's talk about the government, right? I'll just move to the next slide. We have multiple use cases where I can actually talk about how we can integrate these AI systems on a scale, because we right now in here we're here to talk about underserved populations and how multilingual voice AI is gonna solve their problems. Now let's talk about flood relief, right? So we've heard in the entire country there's a flood in Chennai, there's a flood in Vizag. So when we talk about the customer support in all of these flooding areas, that is all in Hindi, by the way. That is something that I read about recently. Rarely it's a situation where there's a local team supporting these helpline numbers, because the entire team for the national the team for helping out people is basically centralized. So there is not much of a localization that comes into the picture. So when you want your flood, when you are in a situation where there's flood, you want support, you want rescue, whatever it is. As Vivek already said, we are a country where we have so many people, and we have very less in terms of services. I think there's a number that goes like we have one doctor for every 1 lakh people. So that is not just doctors. When we talk about general services as well, in terms of call center, I mean, I was a victim a few days ago when I booked my Indigo flight, and the whole Indigo fiasco happened. I waited for 1 hour 30 minutes just to get my flight rescheduled. Now that kind of wait, I mean, I've waited at the airport already. So imagine my state, I mean, as a customer. So that is what we want to avoid. So when we go at scale, when there's a flood going on, nobody wants to wait. I mean, imagine you're calling that rescue me and you're hearing the elevator music playing while you're waiting on the call. That is not good. I mean, in terms of when you talk about a big scale situation. Now, national schemes is another problem that we could solve. There are so many schemes. Recently I opened NSWS, National Single Window System, and I realized we at Indus AI are eligible for so many schemes. We didn't know it. Well, through these calling, through helplines, we will definitely be able to understand. Because as I think Rajiv Gandhi was, I don't know, so he said that when the government is releasing 100 rupees, नीचे तक 1 रुपए पहुंच रहा है. तो there are so many schemes available for us, we just don't know about them. So that is the situation, and maybe these helplines, when we integrate them with all of these schemes and all of the bodies who provide schemes, we'll be able to understand it better. So in Maharashtra, they're running a scheme for 2,000 rupees for all the females in the house. So I'm sure if we are able to inform everybody that you're gonna get 2,000, everybody will be able to access this scheme. Now, juvenile support and helpline. This is another very important aspect because I mean, we have seen so many movies about suicide prevention. We have seen so many things, but then when it actually comes to dialing the number, I am not sure there's anybody sitting on the other side of the line. Now, this is an extreme case. Even general day-to-day support that juvenile people require, I think that is very, very inaccessible in India. Nobody talks about it. That is the problem. Well, when we don't talk about it, I don't know how juveniles are going to be comfortable in India. Senior citizen, another aspect of the society where they are very underserved. So I mean, you could think of a situation that I'm maybe a 65-year-old man is stuck while he was at Bharat Mandapam, maybe, and he was trying to cross the main road. So imagine we have a senior citizen helpline that basically takes these calls, alerts the local team. So this entire case is very much solvable through this. I mean, when we are able to take the input of India, only then we can give the right output to India. So this is a medium where we can take the inputs from India. We can understand people's problem, and we can tell them that we actually have a solution for you. So we can inform them that, and then another very massively underserved community would be the farmers in India. I mean, I've heard of so many of these apps that inform farmers of the schemes. Well, not every farmer would be good enough to have an app, right? That's what, when we talk about scale, we got to talk about everyone. We got to consider everyone in the society. So for that, the best thing is a telephone call. You just dial a number. You call. हेलो सर, नेक्स्ट महीने मेरी फसल कटने वाली है, आपको पता है क्या रेट होगा. That's how simple it should be. क्या आप मेरे को एक्सपोर्टर से कनेक्ट कर दोगे? That's how simple it should be. So but that's what we have, everything available in terms of data. But then how are we providing this data to the people? The current medium is websites, apps. I don't think that is accessible. BPL Yojana helpline, ration cards. This is a thing that happens at a very massive scale. So when we talk about scale, the best thing we talk about is accessibility. When you talk about accessibility, the best thing you talk about is voice calling. So Nasha Mukti helpline. Well, I go to every movie I watch. I see the ad, two ads actually. I see the phone number on it. I am so damn sure if I ring it right now, nobody's gonna pick it up. Well, then the whole ad is pointless, right? So we have to have someone to pick up these calls, and we have to have someone empathetic who understands you, who does not judge you, for especially for this use case. So that is where AI can play a very beautiful part. So that is what I was saying. Immediate triage, zero forms filled, the direct call, and then the entire aid, whatever it may be in any form, is directly dispatched. We were also proposing to Zepto, like we call, you the order, the customer just calls to order. Hello, can you send me a Monster Energy to my address? That's it. The order's done. So we were proposing this. So this is the kind of use cases that we see from the voice AI. No forms, no downloads, just talk. And while as we talk about scale, one thing is very, very important when we talk about scale, and that is how our tech is scaling. Because when we want to serve India, we want to be of the scale of India. So for that, I would like to invite Sachin to carry on with our presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sachin Geshav. So, as Vivek and Shreys rightly mentioned, the use cases which all the voice agents can serve, right? So, of course, what we are building, everything they have told. The next question is, how do we build it? Because when crisis happens, so systems don't fail gradually; they simply just sudden disaster hits over there. and that's where the infra comes in. So we at Indus Labs have built our infra in such a way that in such situations, for example, flood crisis is over there, right? So the system will scale not gradually, but at exponential level, where let's say if it's in Orissa region or any other region, our voice agents, our speech to text recognition models, which he already mentioned, which we are building homegrown, they understand the dialect, and not just the dialect, they'll recognize the emotions around it. They'll recognize what's the urgency around this particular, let's say, a particular call. It will direct that call to the required authorities or the required helplines, right? So that's the type of scale which we are building. Okay. So of course, it's not just a, once again, I'll emphasize in this point, it's not just a simple voice agent. It's a complete mechanism where the people can reach out to the right authorities and in time. Again, the next thing comes during the crisis. Uh, that's the latencies and every other terms that you must have heard. But the actual ground level problems, let's say I'm dialing my phone number. It's already a crisis situation. It's not going to be, a very good network condition or something different. So what we have done is we have trained our models in such a way. So you have jittery voice, you have lag of voices. The model understands it, the agent understands it, and it provides the accurate responses accordingly. So yeah, again focusing on the point, like we have 22 dialects, 22 languages with different dialects. The way we have trained model, based on the speech, based on the emotions and everything, uh, they will redirect it to the right authorities, and that's how we are working. So yeah, I'll invite Dr. Lakshmi, please.
A very good a very good afternoon to all of you present here. Myself, Dr. Lakshmi Gupta from School of Management, Panet University, Times of India Group, going to present you right now how the design matters in this work. So, when we call it a human-centric design, so what do you mean by human-centric design? So, when we talk about technology we always focus then technology should be more faster, it should be more smarter. But we often forget to ask the three major questions. The first is it easy? Is it comfortable? Or is it safe for people? So human centric design, it is the technology is not only for user, it's for humans. So when we integrate these three things, either the comfort, your safety, and easy level reduction in complexity reduces the efforts in human centric design. So the design should be like, the first it should be empathy. What is empathy? Then normally technology speaks in commands, but humans talks in emotions. So emotions is empathy is when the people, when the AI agent itself understand the feelings of others. That is empathy. And our tone, the work inside in the Indus Labs, it works on the tone, that how you can give empathy to your users, to your humans. Second is inclusivity. As in India, we know millions of peoples are there who are not too digitally fluent, who are not too comfortable in understanding the commands, nor they are visually impaired. They can't, most of them, they can't read. So for them, if the system is not for everyone, then it is not inclusive. So we want that system should be more inclusive, and the designing for illiterate and visually impaired people, the system is called as human-centric design. Continuous feedback. Whenever the technology is a straight away, when it's give a continue direction to the particular some output, it is a continuous. It is not, it is direct, but when we want continuous, then we have to give a feedback that whether the users are comfortable, users are aligned with the technology, users are ready to adopt this situation. So continuous feedback is necessary while doing this designing part. The next is building trust through culture. When we talk about trust, the technology doesn't bring trust. Only technology doesn't bring trust. The culture is very important, which plays a important role in playing our technology innovated. So when in India, normally when we call namaste, what namaste means? It gives a respect, it gives a dignity, it gives a feeling of personal addressing to the people. So when the AI assistant in the Indus lab says, Namaste ji, how can I assist you today? It feels you a personal feeling. It gives you the respect. So this feeling, whenever the AI assists, it gives Namaste ji. So this small cultural difference, make a huge changes in the system. So our app, the system will give you a respectful address, which give a dignity and pride to the users and the humans. Second, all of us says that local relevance, that our voice will work on different languages, so the users are friendly to every languages. Whenever the users are comfortable with their own language, then the system will give them trust. And when the trust built, your stress goes out. The technology will bring the trust, and trust will reduces your fear, and the technology booms. The second is transparency. Yani clearly, whenever the AI agents, whenever the AI call has been come, it will clearly indicate that it's a AI assistant. Yani the system is currently identification as a transparent and clear resistance. The next is governance and ethical adoption, which is very important for any new era. So when we call as a technology, the technology is a powerful only when it is responsible. So governance gives us rules, but ethical gives us the direction to move through. So the core three tenets are privacy by design. So whenever we work on this, the designing part, it should be private. Means the data, whatever the data, the personal data we are using, it should be minimum usage and the anonymous. Verbal consent. Whenever we ask the system to users, then verbal consent is being taken care with the users. Third is accountability. That is human oversight for critical decision. It means that not for every decisions we are rely for the AI agent. Some the critical decisions can be overlooked through human support also. The case study, that is civic engagement. Civic engagement means how all the citizens, all the participants are being closely attached with the system, or being closely attached, so that the system and the power will become increase in the participation. So how your local community updates with this technology, and as this is we say that the trust will, when the trust will come, then obviously the participants of citizens will go inside the system, and it will become the output as a more resilient and faster response to the users. The next is crisis response. Crisis. At the crisis, a single second matters a lot, because small delays can impact to a human life, human threats. So this system will bring out reduction in the waiting time. It can prioritize the highest task. And which can increase in successful incident reports. And our goal is to save the lives, because the human life and the human life is very important during the crisis. So our mission at last, we say that to foster a positive dynamic ecosystem, that empowers every citizen. We strive to facilitate growth by encouraging innovation and strong work ethic. So ethics, human support, government, ethical adoption, it is very essential for our work. Thank you. And the next part, the new launch is being done by our CEO, Vivek Gupta.
Thank you, ma'am. So today we are at India AI Impact Summit, right? And we are celebrating this festival, 5 days long festival, right? So today at this event, we are taking this opportunity to launch our new STT model, the speech to text model, which can understand all the emotions, right? So until now, we were working in a generic STT which just understand the text, just understand the voice. Now we name this STT model Swar-Mitra. So this Swar-Mitra model is going to understand all the emotions, right? If you are angry over the call, it can detect that you are angry. If you are happy, if you are laughing over the call, it can understand that you are laughing. So let's say somebody is telling a joke over the call and it is mixed with emotions. Earlier STTs were not able to, I mean, this is the first model in India when I'm speaking at the moment. I'm saying this is the first model in India that we are launching indigenous model, which is Swar-Mitra, which can understand all the emotions. So based on the emotions, AI can generate better response, right? If you are angry, AI cannot laugh, right? AI needs to understand your emotion. So that's what we are launching, Swar-Mitra. So we have launched our developer document as well. You can access all the APIs, how you can integrate in your systems, right? How you can build in your voice agent. So we as a company provide two kind of models where you can build your own AI agents as well on our platform. Also, if you have your AI voice agents, you can use our STT APIs or TTS APIs or LLM through API, right? So you can check out on our website that this developer document is already out there, and this is going to be a magic soon. So thank you all of you present here, and I would like to this is a new era of innovation. The market is not just scratched till now, it's going to be deeper in coming days, in coming years. So yes, when adaptability will increase, the trust will also increase into the AI system. Thank you so much.
I think I'll just add more context in terms of what we mean by Swar-Mitra in terms of the emotional aware, right? So when we do make the call, not every time we need information. Sometimes we just need that little bit of reassurance. Sometimes we just need that everything's going to be okay. I mean, that is only understood through emotions. So that part of AI was never existing to this day, where it basically the entire pipeline works in the way that we have a speech to text model, we have an LLM, we have a text to speech model. The duty of a speech to text model is only and only to convert whatever I speak to text. So there is no emotional understanding that comes with it. Only if I say that I'm angry, only then I am angry is written there. But well, if I'm saying what is this, the simple text is what is this. It could be what is this, or it could be what is this. So that is the key part that we were missing in terms of the entire voice AI pipeline, because every time it just used to be the text that we were processing. But with Swar-Mitra, we're going to be able to detect stress. We're going to be able to detect panic, confusion, hesitation. So when, for example, if we're working for a bank and the customer, we're asking him, sir, you have actually forgot to pay your EMI. Within that, if we're able to understand his emotion, is he hesitant? Is he in denial? Is he assuring that I'll pay tomorrow? Now that gives us an edge that is unbelievable, because a customer might just, you pick up the phone, you hear that it's your bank. Are ha bhar dunga. That is very different from are ha main kal bhar dunga. So that is where emotion basically, that is how we make AI more human. That is a very human-centric approach towards voice AI multilingual agents, because we'll be able to go beyond these words, because what I feel is with this we'll be able to empathize with the user very well. So that was about the Swar-Mitra. Now another takeaway that I think Vivek has already given, and I'd like to reassure you guys. So we are building at a very fast pace, and we have a platform where you can actually go and launch your AI agent live in 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes, if you're a real estate builder, if you're a, uh, you could have any use case. Honestly, we have a very agnostic, use case agnostic platform. You could be a real estate builder, you could be a healthcare company. Well, we have had a demand to build your own receptionist. So there was a person who was like, I get 200 calls per day, I can't deal with them, can you build me a receptionist in my own voice? That was a very peculiar case, but then hey, it was useful because the person now gets like 20 calls per day. So we also do customer care. We do car service centers. So in our platform, you can sign up. You get free credits. I think we have increased the credits in these 5 days. So you get free credits. You just go on there, build, buy a phone number, and you start making calls. That's how simple we have made it. And the CRM to CRM connection, we also allow you to, whatever call outcomes you get, we allow you to post them straight to your CRM. So it almost feels like a call center. I mean, in the end of the day, the closer it is to a call center, the better it is. But obviously, we have to be better than that. So I think there are aspects that we are better than at the call from the call center. So I think that was it. I would love you guys to explore our platform, build on it, and I mean, honestly, we are planning a hackathon in the next 5 days where the person who builds the best AI agent with us wins some good shit. So yeah, I think that is what we were trying to convey today, and I hope that soon enough you get a call from any customer care or a helpline, and it's going to be our voice. We hope that, and we're looking forward to that. So that's it. Thank you everybody for patiently listening. And yeah, the floor is open. So yeah.
Okay, so hello, hello. So just to answer this specifically, answer is yes, we have our own indigenous LLM. So we have different techniques. So if I go deeper into the tech, right? So for individual use cases, for example, loan related cases, for example, reception, hotel related cases. So big LLMs are not required. Our technology is such that we have individual small models. If you want to know more into technical perspective, knowledge distillation is what we have applied, right? So yes, we have our own models. We don't use any other specific APIs from different model providers. So yes, that's the answer.
I hope it answers your question. I think you hit the nail right. So I think you asked it rightly, and this world's problem. This is not only our problem. The whole world is facing this crisis, GPU crisis, right? But again, so right, we are into the industry since last 1.5 years. We have different partnership models with GPU service providers. Some GPU providers are physically GPU service providers. Some are like on cloud, right? So we have 7 to 8 service providers. Those are on cloud available, and our system is so much integrated with them. So whenever, let's say you talked about H100, right? So whenever the load of 500 is done, so whenever it's 450, it start spinning the new GPU on a cloud. So as soon as it reaches 50, a new GPU is already available. So we have parked our GPUs into different service providers, clouded, and we have also partnership with very big giant in they are having data center in Noida itself. And as soon as data centers are emerging in our countries, a lot of foreign players are interested in building data centers in our country. Whenever they will rise, right? As soon as they will rise, this problem will get eventually resolved down the line. But as of today, our system can handle more than 25,000 calls. At this moment, we have tested, we have trialed 25,000 calls we can handle minimum. More than that it comes, then we can also handle that because we have partnered with different service providers.
I would like to add to that. So Vivek obviously mentioned how we scale up, but then there is one more thing that Sachin and his obviously our team has done very well. So when you mentioned that 800 can take 500 calls, so there is certain technologies I don't really recall them, but that is where we are trying to add more calls to the single 800 rather than getting more 800. So we are actually exploring many other models to train on, many other backbones to train on, so that we reduce the model size so that we can increase or scale up very faster in terms of and handle more calls. And we are also looking forward to accessibility in terms of B200. We're looking forward to it. As soon as that is there, obviously Blackwell is going to be very much faster. So yeah, that I think is the way we do it. And yeah, thank
This
you.
industry is too much volatile, right? As soon as innovations will come. Yeah, yeah, please.
So I'm very delighted to see how well India is doing in terms of GPU scalability, especially from the support from AI India mission. How well can a startup expect support from Hashini and AI India in terms of GPU? Because I saw it very widely marketed in the market that H100 GPUs are available at a 56 rupee per hour cost. So how well are you guys able to leverage that?
I think that's true, right? So they have a portal, right? In that portal, you will find a lot of service providers, GPU service provider. They are listed and they are mentioned their prices on subsidy. So as you mentioned, 56, but I haven't seen anybody in 56. But again, right, you can find a good service provider and you can again negotiate with them.
We had an interaction with Rudra. You must know Yuta Shakti Cloud Rudra, right? So actually, they told us they're going to give us a lot of credits because we are a part of NVIDIA Inception and everything.
So Rudra
Well,
is managed by a company called CDEC, organization called CDEC under Mighty. So we connected with CDEC guys and they gave us assurance that you can access those. At that time, they had A10 machines, couple of A10 machines, so we accessed them. But eventually, we have moved to H100 now, so that is a mismatch. But again, government provides supports. I mean, you can find on the portal and you will find a lot of service providers out there.
Makes me immensely proud. Thank you so much.
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Yes. I think, you know, yeah.
So, when it's come that in the governance, I had mentioned one point, then the waiting time is been like which parameter is it depends on your priority. Yani mostly all the things will not taken up care of by AI. AI is the thing, but the human support is necessary in that because the critical task is being assessed by the verification by your humans. So if any disaster which is a very particular, the priority is very high, then obviously the AI agent can give that transfer these calls to the exact humans. Ki how the things can be transformed. Can you add on?
I think so. You asked it rightly. The problem here is, right, you know, AI agent is just a facilitator here. Government owns it or some department owns it, right? And it is just a L1 layer which listens you, which hear you. Where somebody was not able to hear you, now an agent is there to at least hear you and thinking about your problem and thinking about some solution, it would report to the control center of NDRF team, let's say, right? So the role here is to connect you with the NDRF control center, which you were not able to make earlier. So it is kind of a medium to help you.
And we also have very much strict guard railing. So I would consider it very rare that in a situation that our AI is suggesting you something that is not shouldn't be done. We minimize the risk through very strict guard railing. So our AI I mean, you can play around with it. It'll never tell you what it shouldn't. It'll never say what it shouldn't. So yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you. Sachin?
Okay, I'll answer that question. So yeah, you have rightly pointed us to the intricacies of it, like the end of utterance or the VAD modules, right? So yes, our models, we have built individual models for those as well. But with respect to the just talking with respect to the terms you mentioned, so the STD model itself detects what's the end of the turn when the user, or in naive language, when the user is supposed to, when the user has ended his speech, with respect to the noise and everything, right? So we have these adaptive filters. So in noisy environment, these filters would have a different settings. In a very clear environment like this, it would have a different setting. But these are intelligently adaptive. So based on whoever is calling, uh, it will respond accordingly. Yeah. And your next part of the question, like 2G and 3G network issues, right? So again, as we mentioned earlier as well, the models, like how the traditional models are trained, it's like audio is given, transcript is given, and that's how the traditional way of training is. But what we have done intelligently is provide some additional jitters out of it, provide some, noisy background. So just to stimulate the actual environment, and with respect to all the dialects, we have trained accordingly. And that's how we are ensuring that this type of cases are minimized. I hope it answers.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.